Good morning to our viewers at home, everywhere you are. Today we have Mr. Toriso from Cape Town, and my name is Melo Litela from Maseru, and I'm your host. Mr. Toriso, welcome. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ma. My name is Toriso Matokoti. I was actually born and raised at Hantlama. It's at the village in Madimong in Berea district. I am currently residing in Cape Town, but I still spend a lot of time at home because that's where the project is at. And yeah, I am the CEO of MEDSOTHO, a cannabis operator, which is licensed in the Kingdom of Lesotho.
Okay, sir. What is Lesotho, and please introduce the company that you are currently leading, sir.
Okay, so MEDSOTHO, this is it's a medical cannabis company operator that is licensed to grow in Lesotho and process. So we are basically a cultivator, extractor of medical grade cannabis in Lesotho, and so today at the moment we are still at the starting up phase where we are busy setting up the facilities, and we are having a launch on the 27th of May this year, where we will officially be kickstarting the project.
Okay, sir. Of all the companies that you guys could have thought of starting, why Medical Lesotho? Why didn't you venture into any company like, for an example, Petroleum Jelly or any company? Why MEDSOTHO Ndate?
Okay, ma'am. So I would say, first of all, let me give you a brief of who, where, how MEDSOTHO started. So myself, a bit of background about myself. I come from an engineering background and also business development, where I got a chance to do business in Africa as well as outside of Africa, basically bringing the product in and out of the continent. So with that experience and with the influence of my best friend that I actually met in the corporate environment, we always wanted to do have a business that can position Africa as a leader in something, just to change the perspective of how people view Africa. And when the Lesotho government opened up the legalization of medical cannabis, we knew right there that this is the right industry that will allow us to have an African superior product that that can also position Africa up high there in the market. But also we are now also we are forming a business that is community oriented, and that will different from other businesses that can uplift the community while also creating employment. So we believe in the power of cannabis, since because of all the health benefits that have been tested and approved. We know that it can cure cancer, it can cure epilepsy in kids, it can be used for depression, and all sorts of. So this is just the beginning of the industry. So we really believe that this industry will really help us to put Africa there, more especially Lesotho, where there is quite a potential for growth of a business of this nation.
Talking of the economy, since you did mention it's for the benefit of the community, how is MEDSOTHO going to contribute on Basotho and Lesotho?
Mhm. So if you have seen our motto, or rather a slogan, this is what we believe in. We are saying that we are enhancing humanity and empowering the communities where we work and operate. And what that means, through unlocking the power of cannabis, what that means is that while we are focusing on having the superior product that is going to compete in the market, we are also more focused in making sure that we are able to improve the lives of communities where we do business. we have already started with the community engagement work, starting from 2019 when we started this business. We started with the community engagements as part of the environmental and social impact assessment that was required at that time, just so that we can understand exactly what the needs of the people are, and how we can best address those needs. And what we have done is we have successfully registered the trust that is going to be managed and governed by the community. They are the beneficiaries of this trust, and by doing that, we want to be able to pay the proceeds that are intended for community development into that trust, so that they can, they themselves can, use as they desire to improve their lives, to improve the infrastructure. But most importantly, we are focusing on creating employment. We all know that Lesotho has got a very high skilled labor pool, but the opportunities are just scarce. Our major focus is to create employment and also contribute in the economy of the country. Of course, through also paying tax. But those are the key focus areas: creating employment and also empowering the community through those community engagement projects. Yeah. So I think those are the key items that I would say we are community focused on.
So when it comes to employment, what qualifications do you consider? Let's say for someone who is watching and maybe one is unemployed. Sorry for that. What are the requirements that your company would need, Kapo? Is it something it's going to happen that we see it's happening here in Lesotho, whereby you are going to ask for something in hand for one to be hired, like Jojo? Let me put it that way.
Okay, that's a very good question, So I think I'll just, before I address that question, I will just highlight some of our values, as MEDSOTHO as a business. So our key values, is integrity, and what that means is that we want to be ethical in every aspect, in everything that we do, and we also want to do business with ethical people. And this will also translate to the workforce that we would have, people that we want to put on board. We are focusing, so I think is addressing the issue of accepting bribes to have people have jobs. So I'm addressing that one now. And then with regards to the jobs, so we definitely also want to attract the good talent for this, necessarily to achieve our vision of being the leader in cannabis solutions. We are gearing to be a leader in cannabis solution, not only in Africa but the whole continent. I mean, the whole world. We want to compete with the big guys, and for us to achieve that, we need to have the very good talent. We won't compromise on talent. So we definitely are looking for the key talent that we are looking for. Of course, is the growing. We need people who have the capability to grow, and luckily enough, there's already people in Lesotho who have already been trained, who have already been in the industry, and so it hasn't been a challenge really to get growers into our team that can work with us. But with regards to the highly skilled expertise, we still do not see any local talent that have got those capabilities. Of course, because this is a new industry to us. We've just been in the industry for about 3-4 years. In Lesotho, it was just legalized in 2018. So, of course, that those kind of skills will still need to outsource from elsewhere. But most of the skills that we can get in Lesotho, like the responsible pharmacist, part of the requirements for this industry, so that we can be able to meet the quality, is for you to have a responsible pharmacist as part of the team. And we know we've got a pharmacy degree in Lesotho, so it's not a big issue
Yes.
getting that across. Yeah. But with regards to all the other highly specialized fields, we will still look them elsewhere. But the priority is for us to transfer the skill to the locals.
Okay, Ndete. Um, this brings us to the questions. What are the requirements that one should have, or a group of people or individuals should have, for them to have a cannabis trader's license?
Okay, so
And
I think
to add on, Sorry, to add
Uh-huh.
on that, what are the challenges of one having to obtain such a license?
Mhm. Okay,
Yes, Ned.
that's a good question. I would say there are very clear guidelines that the health ministry, through their gazette, have published of the requirements. But I'll just summarize some of the key ones that people can focus on. First of all, you need to have a good understanding of the business, and by what I mean by that is you need to know the market. You need to know who you are going to sell to, right? Just like any other business, just to avoid having I think they are the ministry itself is trying to avoid having to issue licenses to people who won't be able to take off this kind of a business. So definitely you need to have demonstrate a good understanding of the market and who is your customers that you are going to sell to. And of course the key one is the EIA, environmental impact assessment, that needs to be approved by the Ministry of Tourism, Environment and Culture, and only then that you can submit for the license. So that it's a very comprehensive process where you need to really do the consultations with the community, and just so you understand what impacts, both socially, environmentally, or whatsoever, it's going to have on the community. Yeah. So these are the key items, and of course other a whole lot of documentation, which is quite a lot. The risk assessments, be able to understand the risks that are associated with this business. What is the security plan? So it's quite a lot, but I think it's a matter of just compliance, and of course you need to have some capital as well, because the license fees are quite costly. Yeah.
What is the next step for Met House? As now I've seen a post on social media about the launch and all. What is the next step for Met House?
Okay, so it's actually MEDSOTO. Yeah, MEDSOTO. Like,
MEDSOTO. Okay, sorry,
yeah.
sorry,
Mm,
Daddy.
mm. So no, yeah, I will talk about the next steps, but I just wanted to re-emphasize our mission as a business. What is it that we are planning to do or gearing towards? So as we know that this industry is becoming more legitimized around the world, and growing at an exponential rate, we can only see more countries or more nations legalizing cannabis, right? And
Yes,
we
yes.
as Mexico, we are aiming to position Africa as the global leader in supplying the consistent, high quality medical cannabis solutions. So that's part of our biggest mission. And secondly, I wanted to highlight that we are indeed definitely going to focusing on enhancing the lives of people by unlocking the potential that cannabis would bring. It's as part of our, I would say, employment or sort of community upliftment. We actually want to be the net exporter of talent. We are very lucky that Lesotho is the first African country to actually start growing cannabis. That means we can only train people, as much people as we can, and as the rest of the world is opening up, we can be able to send them there, right? So let me talk about the next steps while I have just emphasized that, just so that our viewers can also have a good understanding. So I think it's more of the of course we are launching on the 27th of May, and of course we are in the process of raising. So far the project has been funded by us, the founders, and we are still in the process of raising capital, and we are looking for the key investment partners to assist us in unlocking the next phase, which is really revenue generating activities that we need. As I mentioned, we are planning to set up the infrastructure in the next month or two, and this is a very highly capital intensive infrastructure. So we continue raising capital, so that we can at least unlock this first phase of the project. So I think we have already, in terms of other operational stuff, we have already recruited skilled growers locally in Lesotho, most of which are from the area where this project is going to be. And so definitely our next steps is to, once we have set up the facility, is to hire the locals, prioritizing, those, the women and, people that we know that they are probably not less prioritized in the workplace. And of course we,
So this
we definitely are looking. Go ahead, Elsie.
Okay, so this means that people from Tuai, they have the upper hand than those who are from Maseru, depending on the position that will be advertised, right?
Depending on the position. So we, as I mentioned earlier, we are not compromising on talent. So we wouldn't hire a less talented person because they are from TY over somebody from Maseru. Talent is one thing that we are not compromising on. But people that I would say we would prioritize. So we have signed agreements in principle for utilization of the land that we are going to grow on is a community. It's for the community and those members that we are using the land from, so obviously they will be also be prioritized. But in terms of other than that, and of course as I mentioned, we are prioritizing women and females, just so that we can have a good balance. But other than that, anybody from Lesotho, we are viewing Lesotho as as a country rather than this specific place where the project is going to be.
So that they're still on uplifting and improving the community around the area of which the project is going to be. What are the after the launch? When are you going to start operating, and what are the positions that maybe you guys are going to advertise? The job opportunities. So far, how quick is the operation going to hire for somebody who is watching? Because the statistics have shown that the Lesotho is facing a higher number of unemployed people. So how quick is the project going to advertise the positions, and what are the positions that you think you're going to need currently? Maybe force, like, I don't know, I'm just making an example.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so with regards to the timelines, we are looking, it could take 3 to 6 months to set up these facilities. As I mentioned, we are setting up facilities that comply with the international requirements, the GMP and the GACP on the growing side. So this while this requires a lot of capital, it also would require some time to finish up. So it could be 3 to 6 months but this hasn't stopped us from hiring, because some of the roles we require them to be on the team right now to be yeah to be part of the planning. And so we have already we continue having interviews. We have already, as I mentioned, growers are the core of this business. So we have already identified, recruited some skilled growers locally in Lesotho. But I mean, we have our website www.medsotho.com, where we will be advertising the upcoming positions. But most of the key roles that we require, we are currently running the interviews for, or some we have already onboarded. We are the key interviews that I would say we are onboarding now is the pharmacist, responsible pharmacist, as well as the master grower. So those are the key ones, but the rest of the roles, they will really start when the project starts, which could be after the next 6 months, which could be admin folks, more growing staff, and so on and forth, because we need quite diverse skills in this business to make it work. So people should just keep an eye on our website, for the positions that will come. They should follow us on LinkedIn. We will post those positions also there. And of course we will also use the local, the local media to advertise.
Okay, so far, what are what are the products that MEDSOTHO would be producing after 6 months?
Okay, that's a good question. So in the first phase, our major focus will be on the flower. So we are focusing on medical grade CBD and THC and HHC content product. And what that means is that, so there's two products that we will you can either have two. You can have a high THC medical grade, or you can have a low THC or CBD medical grade. And so those are so, because we see that there's actually a very huge market on the high THC market. That's what we are going to be focusing on, just so that we can it's quite a low hanging fruit. But also on the CBD, we are also looking. We will probably be supplying a finished product, as much as we are only focusing on on growing at the moment, but we can use third parties to to have a finished product that we can supply to the local market as well, because we are seeing quite a high demand, I would say, in the Southern Africa, which and we know that most of the companies in Lesotho are focusing abroad in Europe, but there is actually a market here locally as well. So I would say those are the key two products that we will be focusing on. High THC supplying as a dried flower in the first place, just so that we don't do a lot of work on it. So we basically grow and process, dried, cured, package it, and then send it to the market.
In conclusion, viewers at home, we have Ndate Toriso from Cape Town, and on today's discussions, we were discussing about what the company does and what the product of the companies are. So, Ndate Toriso, please conclude in that day.
Okay, so I would say, in conclusion, I first of all, let me thank you for for having me on your show today. It's always good to talk about the plans that a business of this magnitude has, and what actually do we bring on the table, and what are the plans. So I would say, in conclusion, thank you, and we are looking forward to having your viewers. We are inviting you guys to the launch on the 27th, so that we can have a very good understanding and a feel of what exactly MEDSOTO is about. And yeah, thank you for that, for having me.
Thank you, Ndate.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Ndate Tlhoriso, there is a question from our viewers. I'm not sure if you are able to view it. That says, I really liked the company with regard to investors towards second phase. Is MEDSOTO inviting individual investors or companies to invest in it?
Okay, so yes, that's a good question. Absolutely, and I would say, we, as I mentioned, we are in the phase where we are raising. It's a quite significant capital that we are raising, and so we call basically, anybody who would have those key, or those key values that I have mentioned. Of course, we would want the individuals to to invest in our business, of course, who are aligned with us in terms of integrity, excellence, who are aligned with our company strategy. And of course, it would be good to have even some locals from Lesotho being part of this exciting opportunity, because I'm sure you guys have seen that mostly the companies on the ground are mostly owned by foreign entities, heavily invested. So for us, I think, for us to achieve our vision, our Pan-African expansion vision, we really would give Africans the opportunity to invest and be part of the opportunity.
So it means you will advertise the opportunity once it's available for individuals or companies to invest in MEDSOTO.
Sorry, say that again, please.
So you will advertise the opportunity once it arises, so that individuals or companies to invest in MEDSOTO.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of visibility. We are talking today with the investors, potential investors, both locally and abroad. And I think us having the license was has put us at a very forward position with regards to raising capital. And as I mentioned, we started back in 2019, and doing all the work that has brought us to this stage. So I think people can just reach out on our website, as I mentioned, medsoto.com, or social media, MEDSOTO. Folks who would want to invest. We are very open. We are going on the second phase, which is the phase of revenue generating. Most of the work that we have been doing was to set up, to be able to to be well set up for us to start generating revenue.
Okay, Ndade, I think you can already see Ndade Tanki's comment.
Tatetanke Mapasela says he would want to be part of the winning team. Yes, sir. Yeah, the A team. You are welcome. Just reach out. Even in with myself, my name on Facebook is Toriso Matokoti, so it shouldn't be hard to reach out. But you can just search MEDSOTHO and then reach us reach out to us there.
Okay, but I think you can share your email and your contacts and your
Yes.
social media.
Okay, so my email is Tlhoriso, like my name, TLHORISO, Tlhoriso, at it's Tlhoriso at medsotho.com. Tlhoriso at medsotho.com, and then you can also use info at medsotho.com. We should be able to see that communication coming through.
I think we have reached the closing time, and for individuals who would like to contact us so that they have any story to share with us, you are welcome. And our contacts are as follows: 63526273. And having said that, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, how do I get out?
Remember, you can find us on LinkedIn and on Facebook. On Facebook, it's Today's Call Out, and on LinkedIn, you can search Mwelo Litila, and you can give us your opinion on the comment section below. And let's meet next Sunday, same time, same place.